티 파티. 보스턴 티 파티. 여기서 찍을까? 티 파티. 여기 투.
We will discuss the fate of that most pernicious weed.
오늘 저 혼자밖에 없네. 오케이. 1시간 동안 한다네요.
Go right inside.
야, 1시간 동안 35달러 주고 들어왔습니다.
Okay, so just take a seat right here at the front.
오케이.
We'll be stopping soon.
Yeah.
Up at the front, please.
야, 너, 어우, 뭔 말인지 못 알아듣. 10시부터 시작한다네요. 아, 이게 시간을 정해놓고 하네요. 이거보다 35달러 줬습니다. 1시간 동안 한다는데. 괜찮겠죠? 1, 4, 7, 5, 5만원. 와, 이거 5만원 줬어요.
Where are you traveling from today?
Yeah, I'm traveling. Yeah.
Where are you coming from?
Korea.
Korea?
Yeah, Korea.
Very long boat ride to reach us here in the colonies.
Yeah, I bought the airplane 13 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
it's long distance.
Yes. Quite a lot faster than in my time, as you can probably imagine. So I will say, at present, you are the, I believe, only person that is going to be joining me, which is perfect. With that also being said, we are very performative here, so I am going to be staying in character for the majority of the experience. So with that being said, do you have any questions that I can answer for you sort of right now before we get started today?
Okay, if I have a question, I will ask for you.
Yeah, I'm going to just grab you this will not be a word-for-word translation of everything that you can see here today, but it will sort of just go over all of the different parts of the experience that we're going to see.
Okay.
Yes. And then I also have for you here an assumed colonial identity to get into the spirit of things here today. So,
오늘 남자밖에 없네.
Mr. Benjamin Eads. Mr. Eads. There we are. You're one of the founding members of the Sons of Liberty, a member of the Loyal Nine.
Benjamin Edge.
And you are the printer of the Boston Gazette newspaper here in town. So as you can imagine, in my time, we get a lot of information through the different posters that are stuck out about town. And you and your business partner, John Gill, would have been the two printing a lot of those pamphlets out for us here in town.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now, to sort of set the scene a little bit, We are awaiting the return of a man by the name of Francis Roach, as he's been sent to Milton to ask our governor one last time to peacefully send the tea back. We have been making that request for the past 18 days or so, and it's been denied every time. I don't think tonight is going to be much different, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
So once we get started here today, Mr. Adams is going to give us a bit of background information of all the things that have led up to the night of December 16th. Then we'll head down to the vessel and throw some tea over the side maybe. And then that last half an hour is going to be back inside again where we go over the repercussions of our actions, as it were.
Okay.
One of the biggest things to remember right now is that we are still very proud to be English citizens. We do not have that frame of reference of being a full-blown American quite yet. That'll come a bit later.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you some time to look some stuff over. We will be getting started right at 10 o'clock, but I'll pop back in a minute or two.
10 o'clock start?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Be right back, sir.
Yeah. 지금 뭐라고 이제 한마디 못 알아들었어.
In my time, back in 1773. Because everything is sort of grown in China, at which point it is transported over to London, where different merchants can bid on their shipments of tea in what's called a tea auction. From there, they can send those shipments of tea to various places throughout the colonies. And so, one of the other things that we sort of are quite unhappy with here in Boston is that we are only allowed to trade with English ships. So all of the ships that are coming and going from the harbour, they are primarily English crew and English-owned vessels. At this time, we're not really allowed to trade with the French, with the Spanish, or with the Portuguese. And so a lot of influential members of the Sons of Liberty, John Hancock is the prominent figure, they do make quite a bit of money through smuggling. But regardless, those teas have to be brought over on those English ships. Now, we have been getting tea for many, many years here in the colonies, but a couple of years back there was something called the Townsend duties, and this is where a lot of our luxury goods here in Boston were taxed. So that is our paper, our glass, lead, different necessities, really. What ends up happening is that is also the first time that the tea is directly taxed. Now, the East India Company, the people that are selling this tea, also have quite a lot of shareholders within Parliament. And about 4 years ago, they decided that they wanted to try to buy a large surplus of tea in order to control the market. So now, you have a large surplus of tea that is being stored in a warehouse back in London, and Parliament is now losing money. So they are looking for a quick, easy way to get rid of all this tea. So when they repeal the Townsend duties and take them away, a lot of those other luxury goods are no longer taxed, but the tax still remains on the tea. Then we get the Tea Act, which is the thing that we're fighting here today, and it actually reduces the price of tea. It makes it cheaper and more accessible for us to buy, but what it also does is it skips that tea auction in London. So now you have 7 legal merchants that can sell tea here in the colonies, and we have no say over who those people are. 2 of them are the governor's own sons, who we here in town are not very fond of, to put lightly. We destroyed his house 8 years ago. At the time of the Tea Party, and well, yeah, it's been tricky to say the least.
Okay, so that is the point. The tax is very high, so yeah, it's a big problem.
It's not necessarily the tax actually made it less.
Less?
It made it cheaper.
Make it cheap?
Yes, but the issue is that many of the people that came here to the colonies were told you are going to have all of the same rights as everybody back in
same
England.
right, same price.
Yes, so that is where we get no taxation without representation. Because according to the Magna Carta, which was the document that takes power from the king, gives it to Parliament, and our colonial charter of 1691 that was granted to us by the king when we come here to the colonies, we're supposed to have these same rights. And that also means a right to be represented in the taxes that are happening. We here in the colonies also experience a period known as salutary neglect, where for a while we are able to elect our own officials and levy our own taxes. So we have a say, we have a taste of that freedom and autonomy to do things ourselves. But then the crown comes back and starts instituting these taxes. And a lot of the people here in town start to wonder, why are we not having the same rights as the people living back in England? So whilst the tea tax does reduce the price of tea and makes it cheaper, it's not about the money for us. It is about the fact that we are not being accurately represented within Parliament. Because this is a new tax in a very long line of taxes that we have had absolutely no say over.
New tax.
Yes. So, sort of like a school vote, or voicing your opinion for what food you would want to get. Our voice is not being listened to when we have been promised that we have a voice. And that is the...
Mr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but unfortunately we've seen nothing of Francis Rhodes, so we're going to have to begin this meeting without him.
I understand. Be right back, sir. Now, as my father liked to say, you can never trust a roach. And I understand you are very angry, but before we get started, my friend, a brief message on safety from the man upstairs, then, yes?
Ladies and gentlemen, and patriots from around the world, on behalf of the Catholic Historic Tours of America welcomes you to the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum. Due to the unique nature of this attraction, there is some important safety information of which you should be aware. Please take note of the exit doors around you. In the event of an emergency, the door you just used to enter this assembly room leads back to Congress Street. Once you leave this room, you will be on a floating nautical environment. Please watch your step and use the handrails when boarding ships and using gangways. Should there be an emergency during your visit to the barge or ships, follow the gangways back to this building and use the exit doors provided. There will be staff members on hand to assist you. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices that may disrupt anyone's enjoyment of the experience. The use of cameras is permitted in this room, on the ships and open-air decks, but not in the museum below. Please stay with your Boston Tea Party host throughout your experience, and be aware that you are no longer on dry land. The only thing we wish to dump in the harbor today is the tea.
What?
And now, we invite you to join the Sons and Daughters of Liberty in a rendezvous with history.
Right. Well, I suppose I should get this meeting started. My name is Mr. Moses Grant, at your service, and I would like to thank you very much for braving this cold, rainy, dark, blistery weather we've got out here today. Now, I do want to get started by saying thank you for joining us, and I'm not usually one to lead these sorts of meetings. See, if you did visit my upholstery shop, the Crown and Cushion, recently, I want to apologise for my recent absence. But as some familiar faces in here may recognise, I was one of the first 25 men to volunteer to guard that ship, the Dartmouth, after her arrival on November 28th. So that means I have been shivering out there in the cold guarding tea instead of spending my honeymoon with my new wife, Sarah. So, you're welcome. But, in all seriousness, I am glad instead to be here at Old South Meeting House on this night of December 16, 1773. For standing out there guarding that tea, I felt like I was going mad. It feels like we've been fighting against Parliament for years with absolutely no progress. From taxes on paper, to luxury goods, to an influx of soldiers, to now our own people dying here in our streets. I cannot help but wonder how in good conscience a king could let this happen to his subjects. For many of us, we came here under the assumption that we would not be treated as second class. So if my father, if he was an Englishman, and I'm still proud to be an Englishman, then why do I have this growing fear I'm bringing my children into a world where they will not grow up with equal rights as their brethren across the sea? As I understand, this may just seem like an issue regarding tea, but for those of us who have been living under the thumb of Parliament's oppression, this is a breaking point and something must be done. Now, I will also say we're not really known for being quiet here in Boston, so allow me to explain how we conduct ourselves during these meetings. If you hear something you agree with and you like to be vocal, you could say, hear, hear, or well said. Let's try, hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
You hear?
Yes, you could also say, well said.
Well said.
Right said?
Thank you, I thought so too. And if you feel so called, ball your hand to a fist. You're going to rear it back and punch towards the heavens with a mighty huzzah. And we'll do this on my hip hip. So, hip hip, huzzah! Wonderful, yes. Now, this being a meeting of politics, taxes, you're going to hear things you don't like. So in those events, you can boo, yeah, or hiss, sort of like a den of serpents. Or you can use the worst word that we have here in the colonies, and that word is fie, spelled F-I-E. It comes with an equally obscene hand gesture. They put it in church, not quite sure why. But you're going to stick out your fist, yes, raise your thumb, plant it upon your nose, raise the flag, wave the flag, turn and face whoever it is you wish to permanently offend, and say to them, fie! Yeah, that's fine. Now, as this is also a meeting, you're not quite sure if you're going to be in agreement or disagreement. If you're ever confused but want to make some noise anyway, feel free to bang on the furniture and stomp your foot on the floor, yeah? Now, I would like to introduce the proprietor of the meeting, for he's a leader among the Sons of Liberty and a friend to us all. So please welcome Mr. Samuel Adams. Huzzah!
Well, thank you, Mr. Grant, for that spirited introduction. My friends, we are gathered here today to discuss yet another crisis forced upon us by Parliament, supposedly on behalf of our monarch, King George III.
Ooh.
Out in Boston Harbor are 3 ships, the Eleanor, the Dartmouth, and the Beaver, and their holds are fit to bursting with the 140 chests of East India Company tea. Now, under the law, each of these vessels has 20 days to unload its cargo and pay the duty or taxes owed. Now, tomorrow is the 20th day for the ship Dartmouth, making this body of the people all the more important. This is your final chance to effect these events in our favor.
Yes, sir!
Earlier this day it was requested that ship's owner, Francis Rhodes, obtain word from our, esteemed Royal Governor Thomas Hutchinson.
Fie on Hutchinson. We don't like him.
The man who abandoned the cause of the people years ago, and yet he is the only one who can grant a pass allowing these vessels to return to England without landing their pernicious cargoes. Mr. Roach, however, left this assembly several hours ago. We await his return and cling to the hope that the governor will listen to reason. For if that cargo is landed, you, the citizens of Boston, will be forced to pay this unjust tax on tea.
Oh!
Now, as we all know, this is not the first time that Parliament has set forth taxes upon us, and without our consent. It was only 8 short years ago, 1765 actually, that Lord Grenville saw fit to tax our letters, our newspapers, all of our printed documents under the Stamp Act. Even our marriage licenses and death certificates. Death and taxes are displeasurable enough, but only those in Parliament would stoop so low as to combine the two.
Well said.
Many were outraged by the Stamp Act. Many sent to the streets in protest, rioting, causing a ruckus. The 60s.
Good times.
Of course, we were told these taxes were meant to repay our debt from the French and Indian War, a debt that I hold we have paid 1,000 times over. After all, was it not our fathers, our brothers, many of us in this very room, who fought alongside the King's army during that conflict? Well, if ever there was a debt to be paid, then I say we did so at the expense of blood, and on that good England blood.
Here, sir!
That's a price we paid far too often, lest we forget those 5 innocent boys who were gunned down on King Street in March of 1770, massacred by the very British regulars who were sent to protect our streets. Well, thanks to the work of my cousin John Adams, ever the sensible one, those men were given a fair trial, and the entire 29th Regiment was soon recalled to England thereafter. But the recall of 1 regiment alone is not enough. No. Now, I say nothing short of a total evacuation of the town by all these bloody bad troops will satisfy the public mind or preserve the peace.
Here, sir!
But our cries, loud and valiant as they may be, are not heard by those in Parliament after the Stamp Act was repealed at the behest of our King.
God save the King.
Those greedy ministers mix up into pitch our future candlesticks, our paint, lead, glass, tea, all were taxed under a man we thought was our friend in Parliament, the supposedly good name of Charles Townshend.
Fie on Townsend as well.
Yes, in response to the outrages brought about by the Townshend Act, patriot merchants banded together, signing non-importation agreements stating that we would no longer buy or sell any of these unjustly taxed goods.
Here, here.
And even the women of Boston, our daughters of liberty, joined in with non-consumption agreements, promising these English goods would not enter their home.
Here, here.
By your united efforts, by your united resolves, you forced many of these Townshend duties to be repealed.
Repeal.
There does, however, appear to be an ever-growing hole in the purse of the English treasury. Once again, their greedy eyes have turned to our tea. Well, if Lord North wishes to enforce this 3 penny per pound tax to signify what? The supremacy of Parliament and its supposed right to tax the colonies, well, then we have the right to demand representation there, do we not?
Hear, hear.
The Magna Carta of 1215, our Charter of 1691. These are the very founds of our British liberties, and they make it clear no British subject may be taxed without the consent of their representatives. So they expect us to pay taxes like Englishmen, war and fight like Englishmen, then by God we deserve the same basic rights as Englishmen. Yes. And if they strip us of our legal right to representation, they have no right to force more duties upon us, and we have no duty to pay. So we must all cling to the spirited words of my mentor, James Otis, which echoed from State House Square, and rang through these colonies like trumpets from on high. Taxation without representation is tyranny, and the time for petition and compromise is over.
Sorry, but Francis Roach has returned.
Ah.
This is the news that we have been awaiting.
Took him long enough.
Indeed.
Right then.
Well.
The Governor is willing to grant anything consistent with the laws and his duty to the king. But orders that the vessels cannot leave unless the cargo is unloaded as the law demands. What say you to this?
Ooh!
Well, there you have it. The Governor refuses to send the tea back to England. He's refused every petition, every recourse and recourse to an amicable solution, and he has forced our hand. As the sun rises, customs officials will board those ships, unload the tea, and give it to those 7 hand-picked tea merchants, the consignees, 2 of whom, I need hardly remind you, are the Governor's own sons. We will be forced to pay this tax, and any honest merchants who refuse to sell this foul brew will surely be strangled by monopoly. No, the time has come for you, the people of Boston, to decide what to do. So, that is why I turn to you, Mr. Grant.
Oh! Well, I had a lot of time to think of my station down there on the wharf, so if I had it my way, I think saltwater and tea should mix tonight.
I like it.
But, do you agree?
Yeah.
Marvelous!
That's wonderful.
You
All
yes.
opposed? No one? Moving on. Well, we certainly have a mighty mob on our hands, but I must warn you, gentlemen, if you destroy this tea, you may be subject to arrest.
There is that.
Yes, you, your families, those who harbor you, they will be subject to the fullest penalties of the law, so we must do our very best to conceal our identities this night.
And how might we manage that, sir?
Oh, well, cloaks and blankets should suffice, but let us also use that unique symbol known to all North American colonies, fearsome, independent, that of the Mohawk. Now rally, patriots! Huzzah!
Huzzah! Boston Harbor shall be
Yeah.
a teapot tonight.
Yes.
자,
There's
Boston
more
Harbor.
we can do to save this country.
There you are, sir.
오,
All right, my friend.
Yeah.
Off you go to make a cup of tea for the fishes.
Take care, Mr. Adams.
Yes, we are right behind you.
All right.
보스턴 하버. 오,
So now we begin our long, arduous, half-mile trek from Old South down to Griffin's Wharf.
야,
So now, our boarding party would consist of about 40 to 60 men, but in grand total of the people storming down here to the wharf tonight, we estimate that there's somewhere between 140 to 170 men spread across the 3 vessels. Now, some of us will leave straight from the meeting, but others will be headed home to disguise themselves first
Yeah.
before coming down to the wharf.
Excuse me.
Oh, Mrs. Akeley!
Oh, Mr. Grant, you must leave. This is not safe.
Well, no, I think we actually have business here.
Oh, goodness.
Mr. Eads, Mrs. Akeley, Mrs.
Oh,
Akeley,
good
Mr.
morning.
Eads.
야,
So it's.
So, you're
I'm
guarding
guarding
the
the
vessel.
ship. All the tea is still on board. It's fine. so
Right,
far.
right. Well, we've actually come to offload the tea, just
Oh, no.
not onto the dockside.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
well, welcome aboard. There's lots of tea on board the Eleanor here.
Okay.
About 114 chests.
Oh,
Follow
thanks.
me. Watch your step. Welcome to your new life.
Yeah.
Crime. Marvelous. Yes. Well, here we are aboard the Eleanor.
어,
We are trespassing, which is illegal, but we're going to get into some more serious
Oh.
crimes here. Yes, you see, I've got these 3 chests of tea. I hoped for the best, but I thought we might get this way, so I fetched up these chests from the cargo hold. These are 100 pounds of East India Company tea.
음,
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm very strong. Now, we're going to throw it all into the
100
harbor.
pound, 야.
Yes, so this is the fancy tea, the green tea, expensive, nice tea.
Mm.
The cheap stuff is in much bigger chests, weighing between 200 and 400 pounds. So we're gonna have the children do that. So just very quickly, I need to make sure that you're aware of the dangers we face, because of course, no one's gonna stop us tonight. It's dark, it's raining, the soldiers aren't allowed to come into Boston, but we do need to be careful in the coming days and weeks that, we don't get overconfident and brag about our destruction of the tea in town, because then we could all, well, we're committing treason, which is a very serious crime. We're English, we don't like crimes. So if we are caught of this crime, we will be hanged by the neck until dead. So we want to avoid that, obviously. Yes, so we will promise one another never to speak of what happens here tonight, all right? So a promise? Raise a hand. I promise.
I promise.
I shall never tell.
I shall never tell.
That's very good. I trust you. I trust you.
That
You're
should
with
hold
Mr.
up in
Grant.
court.
Yes. So here we have some chests of tea, and the harbor's just lightly frozen. I say we should get to work making a nice cup of tea for the fish.
Here, if you would like
Not
to
here.
grab that one there.
Yes, I shall count to 3, and then we shall throw them in. We'll give a mighty huzzah. Ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Fire!
Woo!
Oh!
Yes! Very nice! 3 chests gone! Only 111 left to go! Huzzah! Yes! Well, let's let those steep a minute. We shall explore the ship since it's ours. Follow me, just watch your step, use the handrails, and if you're taller than me, watch your head. We say in Boston, safety first.
And treason second.
Yes,
Oh,
follow
yeah,
me.
Yes,
Be
safety
careful.
first.
Be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your time brings paperwork. I don't like doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So here is the cargo hold. Now, it is almost empty because, well, the ship has come from London 2 weeks ago, and so all the goods have gotten into town except for the tea. So we shall not bother the sailors. We shall visit them. Here is the front of the ship. This is the bow or forecastle. This is where the crew sleep.
Oh.
So you would have 4 beds.
Yeah, Paulette.
4 beds, so you'd have 8 sailors taking turns, some working, some sleeping. This is not a very nice way to live. Yes?
This is Matt.
Yes, so they are on board.
Oh.
But remember, there are 50 of you.
Yeah.
So they're and there's only 8 of them, so they're very frightened of us. So they won't be a problem. We can continue our work.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Remember, this is a very principled protest. We are only destroying the tea. And here we have it. Lots and lots of tea on board. Now, it's all got this sign on it. This is the merchant's mark of the United East India Company. Boo! Yes, indeed. So we're very angry about the tea. And as you can see, we have some fancy small chests, and we have some much larger chests, and I drink the very cheap stuff, boohee. It's very good for you. So we must get these chests up above. Now, this is an accurate replica of the Eleanor, 90 feet from bow to stern, but we have put stairs here for you. We don't want you to get hurt. So, we made our own stairs in 1773, so that means we also couldn't use the stairs to get the tea above, so we would have to use technology, tie them up with ropes, string up some pulleys in the rigging, and hoist the chests above. We're gonna have the children do it. Then once you get up on the deck, we'll all take out our axes and clubs we have and break through the canvas, break through the wooden chest, the lead foil. Underneath all of that waterproofing is the tea, which of course comes from China. And, the East India Company has sent us less than their best tea. I'm afraid they're being very corrupt. It's very upsetting. I understand you're all very angry. And I'm angry at the captain because he's been very rude to all of us. So we're going to give him a little scare. We're not going to do anything violent, but it's the nicest part of the ship. So come follow me. We shall see Captain Bruce.
Oh, Captain.
Yes, the captain. Yes, you don't have to be polite to him. I'm not very happy with him. He does not agree with our protest. So he is,
He's writing now.
He's minding his business, I should certainly hope. We're destroying some of his cargo that he's responsible for, but he should have insurance. He'll be fine. Now, we need to get back to the destruction. It will take you about 3.5 hours to destroy all the tea by throwing it into the water. It'll be a mix of different kinds of tea. It will probably smell a bit strange, but then you will go home very quietly, and you will never tell anyone it was us, and then we'll be very successful in our protest. So we can go back up above, you can destroy some more tea, you can even play captain if you like, but the ship is ours. Up you go, my dear.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
You can destroy some more tea if you like.
walk around the upper decks of the vessel. We're going to have a few minutes before disembarking.
Yes.
Huh?
If you like to see what passes for a kitchen, you can poke your head into that green building just over that way as well.
Oh, yes, indeed. The
And
cook
if you
shack.
have any questions, Mrs. Akeley and I are happy to answer them for you as well.
Yes, you can throw some more tea in the harbor if you like, or you can go play captain.
Yeah.
There's the ship's wheel. So the choice is yours.
One more time?
Of course, yes. Absolutely. Would you like to do it? Or you would like us
Ah,
to
no,
do it?
no. Because when I threw this tea,
Yes.
and maybe you.
Oh, all right.
So very hard. It's very hard.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
I know.
No worries.
No problem.
If you throw it, I'm happy to pull it up.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I no.
No, all right.
Yeah,
well-
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
What's up here? I'm actually. Oh,
Oh.
the chicken coop. Fresh eggs for the
Oh,
captain.
yeah.
Very, very important.
Oh.
The ship's pet, I should think, probably has the most comfortable life of
Yes.
any of the sailors. These ships go back and forth across the ocean from London to Boston, Boston to the West Indies, and then back to London. So it takes quite a long time, about 6 to 8 weeks to travel across the ocean in my time. So the sailors, they work very hard, but the food is very bad. So this is the kitchen. You can peek in here if you like. The kitchen is mostly the cook shack, we call it, to not set all the rigging and sails ablaze. Yes, you have to be very careful with fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, everything's very flammable.
Very careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bilge pumps here are for getting water that collects down below actually up and out. So you would pump it like a water well. Suction pulls it up, comes out here, and then the runoff come to these holes here.
Yeah.
Salt water itself is actually very good also for treating the deck, as it would give the sailors better grip on their shoes, and it stops the deck from freezing in the winter with the amount of salt that's in the
freezing.
water there.
Yes. So usually we can keep sailing in the winter. Sometimes the harbor freezes, but usually it doesn't, and business can continue. Yes, that's that's one of the benefits of having a good port, is that it doesn't freeze in the winter time.
Well, except for, now.
It's only a little frozen.
One of the other things is that tide is actually rather high right now for tonight's events.
Yes.
There was only 2 feet of water in the harbour at the time of the tea's destruction. So as we dump these 46 tons of loose leaf tea in, it actually begins to pile up and in some cases come back onto the ships. So, as Mrs. Akeley said, we're quite fond of child labour here in the colonies. So anyone aged about 12 to 18, we would make them strip down to their bare feet, jump into the water, and try to stamp the tea into the water to make sure they couldn't skim it off the top and attempt to resell it back to us.
No. One day, two tide.
Yes.
So the high and low.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're here at the lowest part of the tide, at the lowest part of the month. So, not much water to make our cup of tea. But we're doing our best.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we can begin to make our way off the vessel here, but there is something that I'd like to sort of point out. Now, I mentioned before you were the printer here in town, Mr. Eads.
Pretty.
These are some of the things that you would have actually been printing out and posting about town.
Yeah.
So, as I said before, you are sort of the reason that we actually end up at Old South Meeting House rather than Faneuil Hall. You'll notice that the F's you see there are actually S's in our modern day English.
Okay.
Yeah. We can also begin to make our way just over here. It doesn't do us a lot of good to linger here at the sea.
Oh, no. You must all go quietly home.
It's a bit strange. You will have to forgive me. I kind of got us lost as the landscape and actual geography of Boston, it's changed drastically and quite a bit from my day to yours. But we do have this map over here on the wall. For I am told Boston nowadays is 60% landfill from how it was back in 1773. So these raised portions here, that is a lot more familiar to me but this depressed indentation is probably a bit more recognizable to your modern day. And I do want to point out we're currently right here.
This map is old day and this part nowadays.
Yes,
okay.
precisely.
Yeah.
So this coastline is actually inland, almost 600 feet or 2 soccer pitches. That land would have just been the harbor. And so the original site of the wharf is right about where those 2 buildings are making that alleyway just there. So we are about as close as we can get to the original site of Griffin's Wharf without throwing tea onto the street just over that way. And all 3 vessels would have been docked right there on that wharf. So the Sons of Liberty send members to stand guard on the wharf to make sure that only those who were in the know were allowed onto the vessels, so nobody disrupted our work here tonight. I do also want to point out this list we've got here. There's something we are still accurately working on every day. And so you'll notice some of these symbols here. We have an eyewitness to history, and then next to yourself here we've got the
Benjamin,
Liberty Tree.
you gave me the name.
Yes.
Benjamin.
There you are.
Yeah.
So the way
but
I'm not special, I'm also right
Mose Grant.
Yes.
You are Mose Grant. Yeah.
So this list comes about 40 to 50 odd years after the events of the Tea Party have actually happened. So many men keep their oaths of secrecy for a very, very long time. Joshua Wyeth here, he is 15 at the time of the tea's destruction.
15?
Only 15 years of age, a young boy.
Yeah, young boy.
He waits until he's in his later 50s, early 60s, so a much older man, before actually giving 4 to 5 odd names. Mr. George Robert Twelves Hughes is one of the oldest surviving members of the Tea Party. He lives to be 96?
90-something. He's very old.
When he is 93, he writes a memoir in the back giving another 30 to 40 odd names. It was rumored that upon your passing, Mr. Eads, you did not vocally give any names, but after you died, your wife did not want to go through your possessions and allowed other members of the Sons of Liberty to do so. When they did that, it was said that a list of about 60 to 70 odd names were recovered from your desk. So you are one of the reasons that we do sort of get this list here today. Now, in but a few minutes or so, those doors are going to start to open on their own and we're going to make our way inside. I don't know if you want to use that device there just to briefly scan these infographics out here on the back, as we will not be able to return to this space once we head inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, do have a look around. You see we've got some cargoes come off the Eleanor.
Okay.
We're only stopping the tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look around
Yes.
5 minutes or just
Yes.
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. 4 minutes.
If you have any questions, happy to answer them.
괜찮네요. 카고.
Would you like me to take any of you, sir?
Yeah.
With the of you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this point.
There's 1, 2.
Man of many talents. Grant,
Oh,
I
thanks.
did not know you were an artist.
Yeah.
Taught once or twice.
Yeah.
That's marvelous.
Self-portrait?
Together.
Yes.
Yes.
Together.
Here we are.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Huzzah!
One more time.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Oh, I've never had my portrait made. That's very good.
Thanks very
quick
much.
painters.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Yes.
Finish it. Look around. Finish it.
So, let's
Yeah.
see. Now, not all of us could be expected to get away accident-free here tonight either,
Yeah.
as we are doing some very dangerous work.
Oh,
So a gentleman by the name of John Crane, not quite sure where he is on this
John
new
Crane?
list. Yes, John Crane works as a carpenter here in town, so he's one of the more stronger patriots, which means that he's going to be down below decks, securing those ropes and pulling the tea out of the hold. Upon doing that, using a block and tackle system similar to the one up there, one of the pulleys actually breaks away, smacks him upside the head, and he proceeds to collapse totally unconscious. Now, we are aboard a ship that we don't own, actively committing the crime of treason, and one of our companions has seemingly lost his ability to move. So doing what any self-respecting Bostonian does, we pick up our unconscious friend, we bring him to a local carpentry shop nearby on the wharf, and we sprinkle some sawdust atop him and make it look like a workman's accident. So we frame the scene to make sure that it wasn't apparent that he was out there on the boats with us. When we come back to check on him the next morning, he's not there. It is said that he has total amnesia of the night's occurrences or absolutely no memory. There are two names that you also might expect to see on this list that are noticeably absent. One of them we saw earlier, and that was Mr. Samuel Adams. The other is sometimes called the coin purse of the Sons of Liberty, and he likes to sign his name rather large, the old John Hancock. That is because they are both very well wanted by the Redcoats at this time. So as we storm down to the wharf, they actually stay at Old South Meeting House for about another 20 minutes or so. And in order to craft an alibi, they are listening to a doctor give a lecture on the health detriments of drinking tea. And we talked a little bit before about how this list did not come out until much later, but there is one man who does not wait nearly as long, and it is unfortunately Mrs. Akeley's husband, Francis Akeley.
No!
3 days after the tea party happens, he decides he's going to go have a nice drink at one of the pubs, and in doing so, starts to boast very loudly about the night's occurrences, so he's arrested very promptly. But the way the law works in 1773 is that you need 2 people to physically say, I saw him there. Nobody else steps forwards, because they'd be hanging right there alongside him, and he doesn't release any other names, so the Redcoats have no choice but to let him go.
That's very embarrassing. You should flee, my friends. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Okay.
One more saying that we have here in the colonies, unfortunately, as we make our way inside this, I do have to say, yes.
이거 1시간 동안이나 이거 들었습니다. 와, 이거 짤막하게 영화도 보여주고 괜찮네요. 30몇 달러지? 이 정도면은 할만합니다. 기프트. 야, 기프트 샵. 오는 사람들이 별로 없는 모양이네요.